Folks, the Gjeebs organization is coming to you live for the first time from Dallas. We are renting a older Model 3 Performance today. They've dropped in price dramatically. So I flew out to Dallas, used Turo to rent it, because Turo is nice because you can pick specifically what car you're gonna get. So that's what we're doing in Dallas today, and I'm excited to bring you all along. It smells like a cigarette here. We've entered the Turo lot. You can see there's lock boxes on the cars here. There she is, baby. The deal of the century. The Model 3 Performance from 2019. God, she's a beauty. She's already broken in for me and everything. So yeah, we're gonna take this thing for a drive here and do a full review of it, show you the good and the bad and why I think that this is still a good deal. The performance is obviously there. It's absurd, at least the acceleration, but let's get in. Yeah, I gotta say also, it's crazy they have Turo specific lots now. That was really convenient. What I like about Turo is the fact that I can specifically I can specifically rent a car from a host that I actually want to drive with other rental car companies. And I care about, like, if I'm gonna be spending money on a rental, I wanna get something specific. You're able to filter by EV, convertible, minivan, whatever you're trying to get. You can even filter by brand. And like, I just flew into DFW, so I'm able to filter by airport, brand of car, all of that stuff. And yeah, I'm in a 500 horsepower Model 3. We'll get to the cost of this thing. The other thing that's really cool is this has full self-driving on it. So I didn't know that. So this has full self-driving, so it can drive me to my destination. And there we go, we're activated. Full self-driving's activated. So yeah, I'm very pumped about this. So if you're not familiar with Turo, it's the largest car sharing marketplace on the planet. They carry over 1,600 makes of vehicle, and it's available at 140 plus airports across the United States and other parts of the world. So like for this specific scenario, I wanted to take a Tesla to the Mercedes-Benz Charger to test out their NACS charging. And I'm able to do that in the exact car that I wanted to drive. So being able to filter out the specific car that I want, and then at the airport that I'm flying into, plus with this being a Tesla, the host was able to share their key with me. So I'm able to use my Tesla app. I don't have to worry about any physical key. I just get into the car and go. So that's extremely convenient. The other thing I love is just the fact that I get on the shuttle, I go to the Turo lot, I'm in my car. I don't have to worry about being upsold on insurance from another company and standing in line. Here's your license, you already did all that stuff. It's all handled, and you get in the exact car that you want. So yeah, I really enjoy the Turo process. Plus this specific car is actually driving me. So I have a chauffeur here, which is really something. But the value of this Model 3 Performance, I'm like kind of giddy being in this thing. I will say right off the bat, the seat motor seems to be smoother, and the windshield wipers, there was a bird absolutely defecated all over the exterior of the car. We have a little bit of a crack here too. The cost of this is where it gets absurd. So this specific car has 105,000 miles on it. And what I've always said about electric vehicles is, the more mileage you get on them, the less worry I have, because there are not many moving parts. So this can hit 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, and I don't feel like worried that something is going to happen to it. All-wheel drive, it has a square setup, whereas the new Model 3 Performance has a staggered wheel setup, so you can evenly rotate these tires. And for the price of this, so this is 105,000 miles, $15,000 you can get these for. There's tons of them for sale across the country. I did a quick search on Car Gurus, so I chose the ones that were not rental cars. I chose the ones that were not wrecked. So like a clean car, just high mileage or whatever, 15 grand you can get this for. To have this type of performance in something, if you can charge at home, it's cheap to run. I don't see how you are not considering this. So we'll do a walk around the exterior so I can point out some other things. You'll notice it has the red brake calipers. So those calipers are, on the new one, the calipers come with high performance track pads. On this one, it's just standard pads. So you could upgrade that, but it just gives you so much room to customize the vehicle. If you want to put on forged or smaller wheels to increase the range, you could upgrade the suspension. Yeah, this thing is just, for the value, it's crazy. And we're gonna go see if we can hit the max charging speed. You gotta admit it.
Turn right.
Bucky is replacing Ronald McDonald as America's favorite. Well, he could be America's favorite animal. Ronald's America's favorite man. But. All right, let's jump in the rear of this thing. Oh boy. Oh, okay. So you got USB-A charging back here. I don't even remember that ever being like that. You have your vents. Obviously, the new ones have the high-resolution 8-inch touchscreen. You still have these little things back here. Then the Model 3 you have the separator. This is a little blown out. It's fixed right back up. It's kind of funny, the line for Tint. But yeah, I mean, overall, I guess the other thing that's shocking, actually it's not shocking because my Model Y was like this, but these seats hold up incredibly well. It doesn't matter if you're fat, skinny, whatever you are. These seats are gonna hold you equally. And they just seem to, like, I don't know, it feels like you're sitting on clouds, but also they just clean up really well. And you guys have seen I use the Hydro-Silex cleaner on it. They just clean up and hold up really well. Again, 105,000 miles. This is a Turo rental. And just the fact that this is what they look like after all of that time, and even the carpeting back, I mean, everything is really held up. I just kind of, I don't know, this is getting my, you know, do I sell everything and just get old EVs and just start building them up? There's something fun about that as opposed to the shiny new ones. So here's what's crazy, okay? So this thing is what, 6 years old now, a little over 6 years old. It's a 2019. Comes with full self-driving. It's working great. Like the fact that I'm able to sit in a car that's $15,000. Now, keep in mind, if it does have full self-driving, I guess there is a chance it's priced a little bit higher. But for $99 a month, or if you want to buy the license for $8,000, which is half the price of the car, you can have a cheap chauffeur that will drive you around. Now, the thing is, this is a hardware 3 vehicle, meaning that the processor isn't as good, the cameras aren't as good. With that said, they're still, like, miles better than a lot of the new stuff that is coming out. Like, I just put my turn signal on, so you can see in our blind spot here, you have that blind spot camera. That in itself was a software update and is better than, I think, everything else on the market. Now, I don't know why I'm hugging into the right lane, so we just had to do a little disengagement. But if you go on Twitter, everyone says I've never disengaged. The car drove me home and tucked me into bed and we had no issues. I'm the only one that has disengagements, I guess. So yeah, when you think about the full value of this vehicle, all-wheel drive, has full self-driving supervised capability. It's very efficient and cheap to run, and the car itself is cheap. There's no oil changes. This is when spark plugs and filters and cleaning your fuel injectors, all of that stuff just adds up on a high mileage gas car, whereas this, it's just way better. I was already in full self-driving. I was trying to put myself more in full self-driving. So yeah, I'm just kind of like enjoying the, you don't mind that the car, voice crack there, got a little excited. You don't mind that the car is a little loud or that it doesn't get the range that it was initially supposed to get. You don't care because you got it for so cheap. And then you can do things like add a suspension from Unplugged Performance like I've done, or Mountain Pass. I would also add smaller, I would add 19-inch wheels to this, increase the ride quality a little bit, increase the range a little bit. It's just, there's so much you can do with it, and you're not so caught up in, why am I not getting the range? It's like, well, I didn't pay, it's not new anymore, so I don't really care. I'm excited the fact that you can just tear this thing apart and really make it yours. I feel like the Lord came down and blessed me with this one. The one question about the Model 3 that you might have is, does this have a heat pump? If you're buying any Model Y ever made, every Model Y ever made comes with a heat pump. The Model 3 is different. I think, I'll have it on the screen here, I think the Model 3 heat pump started in 2021, maybe 2022. This one does not have it, for sure. But you're able to go into the settings. If you go into software and then click additional vehicle information, it is under cabin heater. This is a resistive receiver, and otherwise it would say heat pump. So that's just another thing. And the heat pump, that's just for in cold weather. It's going to be more efficient to have a car with a heat pump compared to this resistive one, because it's resistive and it doesn't want to heat it up. So yeah, just another thing to note if you live in a cold area. But again, if this is something you're just driving around town, you're not worried about road trips and things, it doesn't really matter. Just take the cheaper car. What I'm curious about, though, is what type of 0 to 60 time we can pull out of this thing. Now, we're at 37% state of charge, but it is just interesting to see. There's a bunch of Tesla chargers there. God, the hit in this thing. All right, so 37, the hit in this thing is nuts. 0 to 60, 3.53 seconds, and that's at a lower than half state of charge. 36% state of charge, 3.5 seconds. Nothing prepped, tire pressure's low. It's just tough to beat. Getting that exhilaration for $15,000 is totally absurd. And that's also what I like about, just going to an airport and picking out specifically what car you want through Turo. Not only do you get to skip the line, you're able to pick a specific car that you may be interested in purchasing and getting to really test it. So I don't know. I just think that's really convenient and filtering out by airport and your location. Even if you're not traveling, if you're just local and you want to pick up a car that you just want to test out, I think that's a great way to do it. But yeah, I just think that this thing is a good value, and then you're just not as upset about the traditional things that if you were buying a new Tesla, you'd be upset that it doesn't have this or that's creaking or all that stuff. You don't care because it doesn't cost that much. So for 15 grand, I cannot think of a better car to get unless you just don't have access to home charging. If you don't have access to home charging, I could see it being a nuisance. I wouldn't want to go sit at a public charger for 30 minutes to get it charged back up to a state, and then you burn some of that energy going home. Whereas a gas car, in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, you're all filled up. So that's it. I'm a huge fan of this thing. I wanted to be able to come and test this out, and it's been excellent. So now I'm going to go to a Tesla charger, get it charged up, and return it to the airport back to the Turo lot. So as far as the screen goes, you can see we have the blind spot popping up there. So that's all really good. It's really not that laggy. And look, it even still comes with the new features like the weather feature, which shows you any storms that are possibly coming in. You can see we have some storms up there. So that's kind of cool. It comes with all of the updates. It's just a little laggy. So watch this. So if I go like this, see some of the black when you zoom in, and it doesn't quite show it to you. So it's slightly laggy, but in the same breath, it's laggy. It's still like light years ahead of what other manufacturers are producing right now. I remember complaining about, the suspension's too stiff, and then I'm on good roads, I guess, but it's not that bad. Again, factoring in the cost. I don't know. There's a Callaway building. Shout out Callaway. A lot of people like Callaway. I hate it. Yeah, just the fact that I think it's funny. I can't believe this has full self-driving. So the car's just driving me around. And honestly, on the Hardware 3 car, it's not bad. It's actually been smoother than I would have imagined it would have been. Another Amazon building. Just what we need more of. The suspension in the Model 3 is really bad. I hate it. I can't believe it. There's Bucky. Bucky's an American. He's an American groundhog. What a guy. Bucky, they call him. Dale Earnhardt Way. I knew Dale. Dale was a good guy. The Geico lizard is illegal. Now, if you want to see what ownership has been like on the new Model 3 Performance, I've owned this for 1 year now. You can click the video on your screen to do the 1-year update. And also thank you to Turo for sponsoring this video. Check the link in the description.